you. That was amazing. So next up we have Sonia Mena, who is from the Bay Area. She has been writing since she was 16. She has been a Grand Slam semifinalist, and her work was most recently performed in Wild Cane at New York Theater Workshop. She's particularly inspired by the works of Tom Waits, Gil Scott-Heron, Sonia Sanchez, Saul Williams, and E.E. Cummings, and she's dope, so listen up.
Thank you guys so much for having me. My name's Sonia Mena. I go by the name Barati sometimes when I read poetry. Okay. This is called Hurricane Man. In the midst of ho-hum middle American nights, he sits home, TV aglow, watching the phone, waiting for his ancestors to call him back. Never had a positive alternative to throwing people down, he trips sideways on sidewalk cracks, watching ladies pass him with church hats, tip of the cap. If he had any friends, they call him Rat. Watching the phone, waiting for his ancestors to call him back, his long hair braid tips down the middle of his spine, one he was told to straighten out, to which he replied, I don't have to do as you say no more, this ain't no re-education school, white lady. He sits home listening to the rattles of guilty strangers. Dime, nickel, penny, quarter, dollar change. Could you spare me some change, please, lady? White lady, can you spare me some change? He sits home, watching the glow. Behind thick plexiglass windows, light casting on his face like forget-me-not flowers, like leftovers from the hurricane. He sits home on concrete and wool blankets still, watching the phone, waiting for his ancestors to call him back. If he had any friends, they call him Rat. This next one's called Pigeon Speak. There is a man who commands the roof, surrounded by pigeons like a prince that he's trained to fly in perfect circles, and they all turn at the exact same time, and when they do, their wings flip from black speckled cracked with white pepper flaking feathers that fall drastically to pristine white orchids and blanched almonds. Their wings change colors like under and over side, like stop and go crosswalks. When I dawn from the underground at 11 p.m. or 4 in the morning, I ponder my feet, my blind toes, my rebellious, rubbered, muzzled soles, and the ways they take me home when I've just been counting change and I keep fucking up my change. Find myself in San Francisco under New York highways, praying all the light to fly atop that telephone wire a while. Dear Mr. Birdman, I am spent with your aluminum tubes, your liquid shackles and glass bottles clothed in bound paper bags. When trying to buy milk the other day, I came upon nothing but spider webs for pockets. Seems you've cut them to shreds and left me leaving a glittering snail's trail of change across the city. Mr. Birdman, my gray potential is spreading its fibrous twigs against my shirt. Did you see the seams burst? I won't breathe this stale neighborhood air anymore. After all, what are feathers for but to catch a little breath out there in the blue? I like you guys. Okay, I have one more for you. It's untitled, which means it's interactive because you name it yourself. So, and then tell me what you decided, and then maybe I can finally name this thing. Okay. Love is a sedative I dissolve myself in. People on the street used to permeate my skin. My pores are now clogged of love's fat butter sheen world, roll off my back like water. Love is a glutton without any shame, and I feel like dying these days. Come on, world, fuck me up. I just like to get split open and hammered out thin. Take my chin and chain it to the tree, let me sway ever so sweetly in the summer's wind. I got a hangover and a pocket of gin, had a baby in my belly and a book missing sins these days, these days, these days, and I feel like dying these days. So strap my legs to your stirrups, take it out, pray to ceiling grout. My eyes are losing place and legs giving way to softer days. But softer don't necessarily mean better, only that your ass is in that much less pain. Depends on what you find to ache, and I wish I had the courage to chase freedom like a maniac bird. Arms outstretched behind, fallen face transfixed on blue, blue sky. I used to wish I had blue eyes and white skin and blonde hair, because that was the easiest girl to draw when I was 9, and I feel like dying these days. My ground is too soft, and my thighs keep forgetting how to do anything but spread and lock tight. My body forgot how to be alive, and this is what'll happen if you fall in love with a musician. What'll happen if he sleeps with your best friend, and you fall in love with your whiskey cocaine, and you fall in love with your collared shirt days, and wish for times that you knew weren't happy, 'cause the photographs make 'em look that way, 'cause the photographs make 'em look that way. I keep dreaming about yelling at all of my old friends, and I keep waking up with an urge to drive. I don't have a license, and the only wheels I move are attached to handlebars and my own black-booted feet. I have dreams that I run through the desert, and the mountains open up, and the sky runs awry. Feet bare, clutching dirt, and I never get tired. If I could travel like this, I would. And my dreams, oh my dreams, they're brighter than reality. And I dread waking up, 'cause the streets remain gray. Feet holding me down, and my room is my tether. All I want is to love being free. And I feel like dying these days, these days, these days. And I feel like dying these days, these days, these days. Thank you guys so much for having me.